Okay, there we go. I believe we are now live. Welcome everybody. I love coaching community. Adam Roach here, and today's Monday Mojo. There we go. Hold on. I believe we are now gone. Okay, shut that down. We had a little double sound there. No one wants to hear Adam Roach twice. So we've got Monday Mojo right now. We've got my man, Mr. John Wells. It does say Sam Wells. That is his significant better half. But today we've got someone that I have been in a relationship with for nearly, gosh, I think we're going on 7 years, buddy. 7 years. And John has an incredible story going from brand new in the real estate world to now being a multifamily investor with well over 400 doors that he manages, or at least he has in his portfolio. And from an investing standpoint, he's got well over 2,000 doors. So, Mr. Wells, welcome to Monday Mojo in the I Love Coaching community.
All right. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So give us a quick little abbreviated version of you, your history, and how we got here today.
So how we got here. So background is big box retail management till I was about 32 years old. At 32, finally graduated from college, took the long road and decided I wanted to change. Gave real estate sales a try, and thank God I met you and the marketing center I became a part of, and my world expanded very big from there on. So that's how I got into sales. And then, I learned about passive income, reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was like, okay, how do we get passive income? And I found out multifamily real estate syndication seemed to be the best vehicle for that. So that's how we're doing now.
So walk us through the multifamily syndication. So for maybe some people that don't understand what that means, let's go completely layman. What does multifamily mean, and what does syndication mean?
So multifamily is just in commercial multifamily, it's technically 5 or more units in one asset. So we tend to look for deals that are 100 plus units because of the scalability and the scope, economies of scale. Syndication is just a way to bring other investors in to participate in all the benefits of real estate without having to do any of the work necessarily.
Gotcha. Okay. So for example, I want to get super basic here. Coach me up. So Adam, we want you to be a part of our group here. We're going to go buy a $10 million property. Can you afford it? And most people will say, well, I can't afford a $10 million property.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do people do to get involved? Walk us through that. Coach me up.
So that's a very good question. So the first step is get educated. And there's a good way to do that is being a part of someone's deal. Number one. Number two is there's many boot camps out there you can be a part of, and masterminds. Definitely got to spend a lot of time getting educated. And then when you also have to find out how to find deals and look at a lot of deals. So we've looked at almost 300 in the last year to buy 2. And so it's a lot of, sifting through to find a really good deal. So when you do find a deal, putting the deal together, you have a general partnership, and we split up some duties inside there. So that's finding the deal, due diligence, underwriting, putting up at-risk capital, raising equity for the deal, signing on the loan, get you some equity in the deal. So there's jobs for all those things. You want to figure out what your superpower is in doing that, and then just go all in that. And this is a team sport. Multifamily real estate is a team sport. Unlike single family or smaller deals where you can do it all on your own, you really need a team, a really solid team that you really trust in, you believe, you get along with, you have fun with, and that's what makes it really attractive for me. So
gotcha. So let's do this. So because again, the I Love Coaching community is a plethora of entrepreneurs, from real estate to recruiting to we cover all bases of industry there. I personally have been a single family resident or a single family investor.
Yeah.
Short term, long term, been there, and I know many people in this community have as well. And now it seems to be there's a buzz around multifamily. In your own experiences, right? In your own experiences, what do you believe is the value add from going from single family to multifamily now?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And I bought my first single family rental in my 20s. And there's a couple big things that are different. So one is the single family space, the value is based on comparable market analysis. So your neighbor's house sold for this much, that means my house is worth this much. In multifamily, it's based on net operating income. So income approach to determine the value of the property. So what we can do when we take over a property is force appreciation, either by increasing income, providing more value for the tenants, or getting rid of inefficiencies and expenses, increase that bottom line. So what makes it really fascinating, if you just, let's say increase your net operating income $50 a unit over 200 units, I think that's, let me get my calculator. Nothing better dead air time than doing math on a live podcast. So
we got
10,000 a month, 120,000 a year, you increase the income, you divide that by the cap rate, let's just say it's 5, just increase the value of the property $2.5 million.
Wow.
So
pause right there. Let's go back to that. So we've got market value versus income approach or net operating income approach, right? So let's go back. So the single family is going to appreciate based on the market, right?
Right.
It's going to increase. So for example, I own a property. I bought it for $100,000. If I'm in a great marketplace, it's appreciating 8 to 10%. If we're in Charleston, where we are right now, it's 16%, right? So the value of that property only went up 16%, right? Now let's go to your example here. We are now going to play in a multifamily space that is all about net operating income and not just the appreciation, right?
Right.
Okay, got it. And the example you gave was you're going to increase rents by $50. Maybe you go in, maybe you update some things, and there's 200 units, right? So we take 200 times 50, and we get 10,000.
Yep.
Take 10,000 times 12, and that is 120,000. And now we have a cap rate of 5%. Now, where did the cap rate come? Explain to us real quick about cap rates.
So a cap rate is if you paid cash for the property, how much cash the property would throw off, or how much net operating income the property would throw off. So let's just say it's a $10 million property. At 5% cap, you're getting $500,000 a year in income if you paid cash for the property. So it's just a way for us to value the property.
Got it. So now we go back and we take it, and we've got 120,000, and we took that times 5. Is that correct?
You divide it by 0.05. Yeah.
0.05 divided by 0.05, and we get an increase, a forced increase in the value of the property of $2 million.
2.4 million. Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I left off that. Now, keep going.
No, so it's about control. So we in single family, you're at the whim of the market, and in multifamily, we have a lot more control and can run through a business plan to force appreciation. The other part of single family is when you have a vacancy, you're 100% vacant. You're 0% occupied. That's bad news, And in multifamily, we want some vacancy above 90%, usually 95 occupancy. And that if it's 100% occupied, that means we're too low on our rents. There's a problem.
Right.
Um, so that's another big.
Say that again, because I don't know if a lot of people caught that. So if you're at 100% occupied,
Yeah. So
then you're probably underpriced.
you're definitely underpriced. Yeah.
Mhm.
We want vacancy. And I know that sounds weird, but we want about a 5% vacancy to know we're doing the right thing. If we got everything rented up, then we're not charging enough.
I don't think I've ever heard that before. So I love that. That's definitely a learning lesson for me there. Okay, so now we're playing in this multifamily space.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm a transition from single family to multifamily. I've just learned about basically forced appreciation.
Uh-huh.
How do I get involved? You're playing in the 10 million space. I've got $100,000 property. How do I get you a $10 million deal?
I would just get educated. The question I asked myself was, when I first started, someone said you should never buy less than 36 units.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, really, it should be no less than 62. But most people's mindset is so limiting that I'll say 32. So I just kept asking myself that question: how do I buy 32 units for my first deal? Like, how would you do that? How's that even possible? And that question, and I would challenge everyone here to ask that question if it's something, if passive income is important to you, is how do you do it? And then go out and find it. And I can give you a bunch of resources. There's a ton of free information out there. But you got to get educated
for that. Let's do that. When this finishes, let's go back to the I Love Coaching community space, and we'll put those in the comments there.
Okay, you got
it. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I would put in on someone's deal, and see what it's like to be an investor in one of these deals. That's the best way to get started. Get on the limited partner side, and then just keep asking yourself that question. And it's really a team sport. Like I said, you have to know people, get networked, get connected, and just be inquisitive and learn, figure out.
Well, let's play with some really round numbers, right? So, okay, I'm transitioned from single family to now multifamily. I've connected with the man, John Wells, and we'll keep using 10 million. We got a $10 million opportunity here. We've got 100 plus doors, whatever you want to call it. And I want to come in as a limited partner. And I want to give you $100,000.
Yeah.
Now, what does that tie me to? What am I getting there?
Yeah. So you actually become a partner of the syndication of the business. So there's two sides of the partnership. There's the limited partner side, which are passive investors that just put money into the deal, and the general partner side, which are the operators and the sponsors of the deal that put the deal together. So as a general partner, we always invest on the limited partner side as well. So if we don't have a deal, all our extra cash goes into other people's limited partner sides on their deals. So we did 2 at the end of last year. And the reason why, as a limited partner, you get the benefits of all the benefits of owning real estate. So all the depreciation benefits, the bonus depreciation, cost seg, everything like that. So we had to find a place to put our money at the end of last year. Knew some operators we know, like, and trust, and placed our money with them. So it really doesn't matter what side of the deal you're on. You're still a partner in different capacity.
Gotcha. And then as a limited partner, what and again, we're not talking about a deal, guys. We're do not come running to us if these numbers like, holy shit, I want in on that deal. So play with me here just for a second.
Yeah.
We've got a $10 million deal. We've got $100,000 given. I'm a limited partner, and let's say that they go really conservative with some numbers and returns. What could the limited partner expect? Are they getting a monthly cash flow?
Yeah.
Are they then waiting for the term of whatever the investment vehicle was? And then when you sell the property, are they getting some of the what walk us through that?
Yeah. So I'll give you our criteria. and really it's 7%. I'm gonna throw out some words that, and I'll explain what they mean, but 7% cash on cash. Ideally, we want to be at 8% or better. And then a 15% or higher AAR and a 14% or higher IRR. So a cash on cash return is the annual return you receive on distributions. And they could be quarterly or they could be monthly. I like to invest in deals that are monthly distributions. Again, to that passive income, paying your expenses, your bills come every month, your income should come every month.
Right.
So that's why we want income generating every month. And I can come back to that, why that's so powerful. Cash is not king, cash flow is what's king.
Agreed.
And then AAR is average annual return. So once we go through the full cycle of the deal, we buy it, we reposition the property, and then maybe sell it in 5 years. And then we had a huge capital gain. That's going to average out to about 15% average annual return. Our deals, we like to be a little bit higher than that, but that's our minimum criteria. And then
so stop there for a second. So we got $100,000, we got 15%. You're going to take 15% of the $100,000, and that's what you should expect back after the term.
Yes, annual. Yeah. So after 5 years, that's 60%, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or 75, is that right? 75. Yeah.
75.
And then IRR is there's a complicated math equation for it, but it's just has to do with the velocity of money. And it's how soon you get your money back. Like, is it more upfront at the beginning, or is it more in the back end that you're getting your money back?
Gotcha. Okay, now let's go back to real quick. The powerful, and make sure we don't have any questions here. No questions right now. Okay, so let's finish this real quick. Powerful, you said cash versus cash flow. Cash flow is more powerful.
Yeah. So AT&T does their distributions every quarter.
Okay.
You have to pay your bill every month. Why do you think that is? And that goes for every big corporation. They want to pay out as long as possible. That's why they do these 30, 60, 90-day bill cycles that they put people, all their vendors on, and they collect money as fast as they can. Gotcha. So it's, again, with the velocity of money, we're just trying to kick that up.
Gotcha.
That's the game that all the big players are, just look at what rich people do, what corporations do.
Right.
I mean, and there's a reason, and ask yourself why they're doing that. You want that money back into your pocket to put out again as fast as you can. Right. So that's a pretty big game changer. Everyone now, the conventional wisdom is throw your money in the stock market or something else, let it sit there, and 40 years later it'll be there and it'll grow, and then I can use it. I mean, right. Look at any big business, any corporation, any rich person, they're not doing that. I mean, for the most part, Yeah.
So. Not to mention, again, we can go down a money trail if we want to here in the inflation rate of the dollar, which again, that's going to destroy the value of the dollar that's just sitting in your bank account.
Yeah. And guess what? It helps. It helps real estate.
Inflation helps real estate all day long. Cool.
Yeah, and we're paying back the debt on our mortgages from the loans on these deals at cheaper dollars.
Right.
Every dollar we pay it back. I mean, that mortgage is becoming worth less and less the longer we hold it. That's why we love good debt.
It's true. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So 2 things I want to share here is Mr. Wells just gave us great information going from a single family investor to a multifamily investor. And you've done this now successfully how many times?
So we're in half a dozen deals right now as a general partnership side, probably a dozen as a limited partner. So yeah, so far so good.
So he's being completely modest there. I mean, how many doors on the general partner side and how many on the
Well,
limited
it's over
partner?
400 GP side, over 2,000 in the LP side.
That's incredible. And you've done this in what time period?
I mean, really, from the start of our first deal, it's only been a couple years, but 2 years before that, I started getting educated.
Right.
So it was a lot longer journey, overnight success, right?
No, definitely not overnight success. And here's why I'm leading up to this is because John and I just recorded a podcast for the I Love Coaching podcast. And on there, you get to go listen to him tell his story of how he started in real estate in 2015 as a 32-year-old. And now here he is, nearly a 40-year-old, getting ready to have a birthday and celebrating that many doors. So my friend, I've always been a huge fan. I'm going to continue to be a fan. Looking forward to investing with you. And thanks for coming in here on Monday Mojo.
Awesome. Let me know if I can help. If you have more questions, reach out. Happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put in the Facebook group here any contact information on how to find you and let them reach out to you, and maybe we'll raise some more money that way. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it. All right, John. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, and congrats on all your success.
All right, thanks.
You, buddy.
Thanks for having me. See
You
you.
got it. Bye.